Hey y'all, welcome to my channel Taking Back My Life. I am Unstoppable Stacy, and this is my journey to lose 150 pounds. Thank you all so much for being here. So it's been about 2 weeks since I posted my very first YouTube video ever, and I want to just say thank you to everyone that took the time to watch it. I know it was a long one, but I know it had a lot of really good information about what's been going on in my life and how I've gotten to the point that I'm at right now, and why we're doing this journey. And so I hope somebody found it helpful and intrigued and want to come back and watching. So I've been doing some research, watching other weight loss YouTube videos and vloggers and different things, and just trying to get some ideas, take some notes, and figure out what would work for me, because I did try to get the Christmas video out that I wanted to, because I had a really great idea. I just didn't have enough time to put it together. And like I said, time is one of those things that the enemy, that we're trying to be free from through this whole process. And so I kind of just was taking notes and be like, okay, what works, what's not working, how can I make this quicker, because I literally have no time. I've got to figure out how to do this. So watching some other people, and I kind of came to the conclusion that for me it's easier if I just I don't backtrack, because backtracking takes forever. Like your Bible reading plan, you get behind a day, and then one day turns into 10, and then you never get caught up. So, same thing with with just other areas of discipline. If you get back, lose a day or whatever, you get backed up and you're never able to make it back up because time is just not on your side. And so for me, I think I've decided that the easiest way for me to do this is I'm going to attempt to do a weekly vlog. So just check in with you guys every week, and it'll pretty much be from Sunday to Saturday, I think, and then that way I can post my videos on Sunday. That's my plan right now. Don't hold me to it. I'm still new. This is still only my second video, but that is the plan, and then that way I can record stuff during the day and then spend a little bit of time every night editing and getting it together, and then that way it should be quicker to pop out on the weekend, because literally Saturdays are the only day that I have to do anything. And I was struggling before with just keeping up with chores around the house, let alone now adding a YouTube video and some other things to it. So that's the plan for now, and we'll see how it goes. That being said, I did shoot some video over the last couple of weeks. We did have Christmas and we had New Year's, and so I got plenty of pictures and things and some videos, and kind of the more research I did, the more videos I shot. So we'll see how it goes. Again, this is only my first vlogging situation, so it's probably pretty scarce, and I'll do my best to try to let you guys know what's going on, but hey, bear with me, and be forgiving, and just keep, the more we do it, the better I'll get. Okay, so it occurred to me, before we get into all of the vlogging stuff, it occurred to me that in my first video, I pretty much only shared my backstory and my goals. I don't really think I got into specifically how I lose the weight, and so that might be kind of important for you guys for this channel. Again, I want to reinforce that I am not a doctor, and I do not give medical advice, so don't take any of my stuff as Bible. Just understand this is what I am doing for my process. This is what is working for me. And I'm happy to help in any way that I can. But again, you should always follow your doctor's instructions. So take that and we'll see how it goes from there. So my process for losing weight is threefold: exercise, nutrition, and mindset. The exercise, I know I did mention that in the video, but I'm happy to go over it again. I probably didn't get into specifics. So the program that I'm using, and I know everybody has their own different thing, like, you know, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there that you can watch and find some free exercises and stuff. But I chose to do a program that I've seen since 2017 is when I first saw it. And it's called DDPY, and it's basically DDP yoga. It's a yoga program created by world champion, former wrestler Diamond Dallas Page. And he basically kind of came up with it when, at the height of his career in wrestling, he broke his back and his doctors told him he would never wrestle again. And so he, with, doctors' help and lots of, intelligent, educated people that know what they're doing, he worked with them and developed this program that kind of integrates yoga. Like, obviously that's one of the things you do, but a lot of the poses that are in yoga are things that you would find, like if you were going to go to a rehab for an injury, knees or shoulders or back or whatever. Like, a lot of those things are things that I've done previously in physical therapy for injuries. And so I think that's pretty cool. And but yeah, he managed to integrate yoga with like cardio and different aspects to get your blood pumping. And so literally all the equipment you need is just a mat. And if that, like, because I've done it on my carpet before, but a mat definitely helps. But it is, they do have a free trial, but it is a paid app, and they are not sponsoring me to say this. I asked if they had affiliate marketing, and they don't yet. So this is completely free, but I am the kind of person that I am not going to pay for something if it's not going to absolutely change my life and be 100% necessary. So I'm telling you, this is so worth it. And they always have a good deal around the holidays, so that's the best time to check it out and subscribe. But yes, so DDPY, you can buy the DVDs, or I use the app that they have, and all of their workouts are on the app. And basically, you can do whatever you want, or they have programs that you can follow. So like the program that I'm doing right now, it's a 13-week program, and it's called Stand Strong. And I chose that one because when I started this back in October, I had such severe inflammation in my knees and wrists and just pretty much everywhere from injuries that I've had. And so I could not get down on my knees, and I couldn't use my wrist for any kind of pressure. So basically the only thing I could do was stand. Now they do have, other programs, like if legitimately you can't stand, they have a chair program. If you can't even sit in a chair, they have a bed program. Like, they have every level possible that you would need to help get yourself healthy. And some of the videos that they've shown on there of like people that have been completely transformed by this program are people that had legitimate disabilities. For example, the person that kind of totally sold it for me is this guy named Boorman. You need to go watch his video and everything, and I might add it in the description below. But he was a disabled veteran that used to jump out of planes for a living and land on the ground with 400 plus pounds of stuff, which totally takes out your knees. And so he was like, he could not walk without like arm crutches, and he was one of the first people to do this program, and with it he lost like a ton of weight, and he went from barely being able to stand to running like a jogger, it's just crazy. But like there's other people like, Butterbean that was bound to a wheelchair, and he's up now and he's training again like he's, gonna fight. And then was it Lex Luger? I think it's Luger. Is either Luger or Luther? I don't know. I haven't followed him very well. My bad. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. But he was literally, I want to say like paraplegic, like wheelchair bound and could hardly move at all. And he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, I think this last year or two somewhere. And he got up from his wheelchair and stood to give his acceptance speech. And it's amazing. So this program really can help you out with stuff like that, if you're willing to put in the work. So that's the program that I'm doing. And like I said, I'm doing the Stand Strong program. I am finishing up week 11, I think, out of 13. So I'm super excited because in a couple of weeks I will be moving on to the beginner program, which should be a little bit more challenging. But yeah, they lay it out and they tell you, okay, we recommend you do this program and this program, and like they schedule you a workout throughout the week. And you can choose to do it if you want. You can choose not to. You can choose to do something else. Whatever. I've been doing what they suggested, and it starts you out, low level, and it over time increases the difficulty and to where you're doing things you never thought possible. And so that's pretty much what I've been doing for exercise. Like I said, I do what is on the schedule at least once a day. They do have scheduled off days, but for me, I know that if I take a break, it is really hard for me to get back on track. So for me, no days off. I just can't do that. I have to do something every day, even if it's a light day. And I have found lately that the off days, I'll schedule something that's a lighter workout, and I don't like it because it's too easy for me and I like pushing myself. So that's just kind of where I've come from over the last 2 months. But not everybody has to do that. Anyway, like I said, I do the scheduled workout, do something on an off day, and then I have gotten into the habit of adding an extra morning workout every work day, because they do have like a rehab program, or rebuild is what it's called, for different parts of your body, like shoulder, back, hip, knees, whatever. And I started this with some severe shoulder pain. And so kind of as like a little side program, I've been doing their Shoulder Strong workouts. And so I kind of disciplined myself to get up every morning at like 4:45 and just get in one of the 10 to 15 minute shoulder workouts just to get my body moving for the day. So that's kind of what I've been doing for like exercise wise, in regards to losing weight. So for the nutrition aspect of losing weight, that is so very important because, as DDP likes to say, you cannot out-exercise a bad diet. So it is absolutely crucial. And that is one of the things that they do have on the app. They have, certified dietitians working for them and helping them come up with recipes and food plans and things like that. And so the app does have a nutrition plan. They will literally like schedule out a whole month's worth of meal plans for you and have recipes attached to it where you can literally find the ingredients and like watch a video on how to make it. And it's just like it's very, very helpful. And you can change it. I mean, like, essentially you can eat whatever you want. So if it calls for seafood and you don't like seafood, because I don't like seafood, sub it for chicken. But it's very, very helpful. I will say, with finances being the way they are right now in our family, it's been a little difficult to follow like their food plan exactly. So we did do like a couple of weeks where we followed it religiously, and it helped out a lot. But then, finances get in there, and you've got to be more strategic about your grocery plan, all that kind of stuff. And so we kind of just took things that we've learned from the nutrition part of DDPY and just integrated it into, okay, what can we do? And probably just focusing a lot on protein, and then watching our calories. So I do track my food every day. There's different apps that you can use, but for me personally, what worked was setting up a Google spreadsheet and just writing down everything that I eat, and then most of the time I do take a picture just in case like my brain forgets or I can't get to my computer right at that minute. But I do track everything, and then I go into Google and type out, hey, nutrition information for a meal consisting of XYZ. And it's been pretty good about giving me like general idea of how many calories, how many carbs, proteins, things like that. And so just keeping track of that. There is a website where you can find out exactly how many calories that you should be consuming on a daily basis to maintain your weight. And all you gotta do is just Google Mifflin St. Jeor calculator, and I will put the link for that in the description below. But basically, you just fill out your information, your height, weight, gender, and then your lifestyle. And pretty much anybody that is not an actual athlete is sedentary, because even if you move around a bit, like you're spending 8 hours a day sleeping, and then like if you work at a desk or you work at some kind of job where you're not moving around a whole lot, like retail I think is like lightly active because you're on your feet walking around, but for the most part most of us are sedentary, and which is me. And that kind of gives you a better idea anyway, because like that gives you a good like starting point. Even if you are active, like this is how much your body needs to consume or whatever, for like even if you weren't moving, and so you can just make a deficit from there. So it really does help. You just push that in, and it tells you about how many calories a day you need to maintain your body weight, and then a suggested, a deficit to that will help you lose weight or whatever it is you need to do. They do recommend not eating less than 1,200 calories a day, which I guess for some people is rather difficult. So for me, my calculation I think was, I think it was about 1,900, and so I set my deficit at 1,700, and I did find that more often than not, I was not hitting 1,700, but I'm also not hitting like the protein that I'm supposed to be. And there's an equation for that too, and I'll get that to another time because I know we're getting long with this. But track your food, like that is so vital, and I'm planning on working on that more over this next year, because even though I wrote down everything and took pictures, I still struggled with it. And I know my calorie counts weren't exactly accurate because I didn't measure and weigh my food, and that would be way more accurate. So that's what I'm working on for this year, is just weighing my food and keeping track of it better like that, because I know that will help immensely with weight loss. And of course, drink water. Like you need to drink water. I never drink enough water. I am working on that as well. But I am trying to move in the direction of sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free eventually, because I know those things cause like a lot of inflammation and stuff like that. And so I've taken some steps, and I'm on the right track, but I'm not like 100% sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free yet. Probably the closest would be sugar, because with, I try to stay away from sugar as much as possible. Like, but I'm okay with natural sugars like honey. All the artificial or even natural sweeteners like stevia, my body cannot handle stevia. Like with my gut issues, it just, stevia bloats it up every time. And so a lot of those, natural sweeteners are made with stevia or erythritol or something like that, and my body can't handle it. So for the most part, I've been drinking nothing but water, which really kind of stinks. But you need to do that anyway, so we're working on that. But drink water, and just try to cut back, on the sugar and the gluten and dairy and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm doing for nutrition. And yeah. Okay, and the last aspect of weight loss is mindset. And to be quite honest, that one is the biggest aspect, because it is, what is it, DDP likes to say, he says that life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of how you deal with it. I think that's how it goes, or something like that. But it really is. It's all mindset. And if you don't work on getting your mind healthy, the weight loss is never going to happen. Because your body will do what your mind believes. Probably his most common quote is, if you say you can or you say you can't, you're right. And it's so true. Like, I've discovered that so much over the last 2.5 months. And mindset is a really hard one. And I know a lot of people use like therapy and counseling and, different things. And those are all great. For me, I joined the DDPY community on Facebook. And furthermore, they actually recently came out with their Transformation University program, which is basically kind of like just a concentrated effort of weight loss, like just a small time period where you commit yourself to doing these things and see the result afterwards. So it's not too overwhelming thinking, oh man, I'm never going to lose 150 pounds. Well, if you take it a couple months at a time, if you take it like 30 days at a time, or whatever, and you break it down into small chunks, it's more achievable that way, and it totally builds up your mindset. And so Transformation University, they're doing it in a 5-month semester, and at the end, if you do different things, you can graduate. And so it's just been super helpful. But that particular aspect of DDPY, which by the way is free to do, Transformation University is free to do if you are one of their app members. Like if you subscribe to their app, it's 100% free. And it takes all the stuff that is already on there on the app and takes it to a whole nother level, because now we have a community with people that have done this before, people that have not done it before, people that are learning, and we all talk to each other, we encourage each other, uplift each other, sharing each other's woes and losses and victories and everything. And it is an amazing community. And I can't imagine where I'd be without them, because they lift me up so many times. It's just so amazing. And then aside from that, in TU, we have, TU is what I call Transformation University. They have frequent lectures where, they'll have a nutritionist talk, or they'll have somebody that's been through the program and has lost a lot of weight, and, just people to give tips and tricks and help you along the way. And they have had ones on mindset, and that's why I have to do something every day, is because that's one of the mindset lectures that we had. One of the instructors was going through grief, and that's how he healed from grief, and it was a very powerful thing. I hope you guys watch it. But anyway, it kind of struck out to me, and it's like, okay, if he can do that, going through that, there's no reason I can't get up and do something every day, even when I'm feeling low. And so just it really has helped a lot. There's a lot of, positive quotes, and just trying to help you change from focusing on the negative to turning that around into the positive and just being unstoppable and not quitting. And so, um, mindset, everything. And, I highly recommend it. I cannot recommend it anymore. Just DDPY is so amazing in Transformation University, and you guys you have to try it. So that's just my plug for it. So I just edited my video of everything I've just already said today. We are already at 25 minutes. And so I have no idea how long this first vlog is going to be. So I kind of don't want to try it and, bore you guys and everything and lose everybody's interest. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this video right here with just the, this is my process kind of thing. And I think I'll start another video with this week's actual vlog stuff. So you get a 2 for this week. Yay! Thank you all so very much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful or informative or in some way to help you out. If you made it all the way through to the end of the video, please feel free to leave a heart emoji in whatever is your favorite color in the comments. I would greatly appreciate that. If you haven't already done so, please give us a like, subscribe, and a comment. And I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. As always, be unstoppable and God bless.